What's up guys, Coach Joe here at the Lions Den located in Colmar, PA. If you're ever in the area, come check out the gym, we'd love to have you. But in this video, we're gonna be talking about ways to increase your lockout strength for the bench press. Very common issue, myself included. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the most specific exercises for the bench press, then we're gonna go to medium specific exercises, then we're gonna go to least specific exercises, and we'll talk about that as we go through the video, so let's get right to it. Okay, so right off the bat, if you've been following this channel for any period of time, you guys know that I love increased frequency and increased volume. They kind of go together. So if you guys are benching 1 time per week, we want to increase that frequency to 2 times per week, and then maybe even 3 times per week. And I use the same format that I put in other videos that I'll link above that I will actually use for the bench press as well, okay? Now with that being said, one other thing that I think strength sport athletes would benefit largely from is some sort of periodization of hypertrophy training inside of their training regimen, okay? So say you're just only doing strength all year round, I really feel like it'll be advantageous to you if you throw in maybe 1 or 2 blocks of hypertrophy training. And the reason behind that is we're gonna increase cross-sectional muscle for that area, okay? Or maybe for the pecs, the triceps, the shoulders, etc. And then as we go back into a strength phase, we're gonna be able to have more potential to go stronger when we're in those strength phases. So bodybuilding is very key for strength sport athletes, and I wanna make sure you guys know that. All right, so starting with the most specific exercise when it goes to the bench press, we're gonna just talk about tricep development and growth. And the exercise that I love for that is gonna be, first off, the close grip bench press, okay? If you're not doing close grip bench press, you're really missing out. And the reason I like that is because it mimics almost the exact setup and format of the bench press, where just bring your hands in more narrow, and that's gonna target the triceps a lot more, okay? So make sure you're throwing in the close grip bench press. Could be on your day 2 for a variation, or it could be your main variation that you want to do if you're trying to transfer it over to your bench press long term. All right, now the second most specific variation that I would incorporate with my training is gonna be some sort of band and chain work. Now with this, you could use a close grip setup, or you can do your regular grip. The reason that I like the bands and chains is because it's gonna work on that top end range of motion, which heavily triggers the triceps. So when we're doing the chains, it's gonna get harder through that top range as well as the bands, okay? So it's really gonna emphasize you having to force that lockout and making sure that we're crushing the triceps with those variations. All right, my last little programming and technique tip for the bench press is gonna be full range of motion, okay? If you guys are not finishing and completing these reps, we're missing out on a ton of gains. You guys know I'm a fan of full range of motion, so make sure every single rep, you're going all the way down, touching your chest, and then forcing that lockout where those elbows are locking out at the top every single time. All right guys, heading into the medium specific variations, I really like using JM presses, okay? So JM press are gonna smash those triceps more specifically than anything I just mentioned. Then from there, what I really like incorporating is gonna be a pin press. Now when we're doing the pin press, we wanna make sure that we're not bouncing off of the pins, okay? And that we're just controlling it on the way down, getting a nice light touch on the pins, and then driving up. You can also use a close grip for any of these variations that I'm talking about. And when I'm doing a pin press, usually I like to use either a regular grip or a close grip, but forcing it at that lockout point and just working on that range of motion is really going to help with increasing the lockout strength. Now the last one when it comes to medium specific exercises for the lockout is gonna be specialty bars. Now this is a caveat because not everybody has access to specialty bars, but if you do, I find they're great, obviously for joint health and maybe if you're working on an injury with your shoulders or your elbows, but also because it's gonna give you a different type of grip, like a neutral grip example, where you're gonna be able to really utilize the triceps more with that grip variation. All right, so the last format is gonna be least specific exercises for the lockout. Now, when I think about least specific, I think about just isolating those triceps and also higher volume, so more rep ranges. So anywhere from that 8 to 15 rep range, you know, anywhere from that 3 to 4 sets is kind of where we wanna be parameter-wise for these exercises, okay? So the first one is going to be tricep rockers. I started doing these with Matt Wenning and even Dave Tate. It's a big West Side popularized exercise, and I absolutely love it for just strengthening my triceps, and that'll transfer over to the bench press as well. My second exercise is gonna be dips. Now with dips, some people get a lot of pain when they do these, and if that's the case, you can totally cross these off the list. However, if you find that you get a great stimulus from dips, highly recommend doing them. You can do them body weight or with a belt and add some weight for resistance there as well. When I do dips, I really prefer full range of motion to really work on getting a good stretch from the chest as well as utilizing those triceps. So if you don't have pain, throw them in. If you do have pain, cross them out. We don't have to do them, but I think dips are overlooked and underrated for just transferring over to any pressing or benching type exercises. All right, last one when it comes to tricep isolation specifically is going to be push down variations. I like using ropes. I have these really cool cylindrical grips that I got from Rogue that you can try, or there's also straight bar, okay? So any type of push down is gonna smoke those triceps. Once again, higher volume. Anywhere from that 12 to 15 rep range with these exercises is gonna be golden, just so you're getting a ton of blood flow, and then ultimately it's gonna be hypertrophy training for the muscle. So like I said in the beginning of the video, that's just gonna make the muscle bigger, so we have more potential for strength gains when we go into a strength block. So real quick, what I want to talk about is programming. So basically this is a rough outline of what I do, and you can watch other videos for more in-depth breakdowns. But if I'm training twice per week, okay, the first day of the week is going to be my bench press, okay, because that's what I'm doing for the competition if you're competing with that or you want to increase your bench press. Now the second day will be the variation day. So that's all these exercises that I'm talking about right now that you can implement on the variation day. Now what I really find is 3 days a week is perfect. So the way that's set up is gonna be first day, your lift that you're trying to increase or test that strength for. Second day will be the variation, and then the third day is gonna be the volume day. So the third day would be like the least specific exercises that I just talked about. You'll throw those in for your session or at the end of that session just to get that extra volume in, okay? So the name of the game is gonna be frequency and volume, and that little template is how I typically lay it out for any of my lifts in my training. So give it a shot, see if it works for you, and I guarantee you're gonna find some information that's gonna help you with your lifting journey. All right guys, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you got anything from it, you like it, please hit subscribe, like the video, share it, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it, it means a lot. On top of that, we do have programs available, so it's gonna be on our programming app. We have 21 plus programs, there's more coming out. I try to put out a couple every month, and then we also have a la carte programs. So if you don't wanna subscribe to the app, you can just pick your program, get a one-time purchase, and give it a shot and try it on your own. Lastly, we have our Discord server. It's growing steadily. To be honest with you, I absolutely love Discord. Like I'm on there every day, communicating with everybody in the server. Not only do we have strength training stuff, we also have stuff on mental health. We have a whole gaming channel. And then usually what we do is try to come together for our community events, which will be hosted somewhere, or we do stuff virtually, whether that's gonna be getting together for a game night or doing a Q&A, stuff like that. So please join the Discord. I really appreciate it. All right, so always want to shout out my man Sebastian, who's behind the camera right now. He is an absolute stud. He's crushing it. Just hit 10K on Instagram. He's growing at a rapid rate. So if you're ever looking for a videographer or photographer, he is the man on the cam, baby. So make sure you follow him, and then obviously ask him if you need anything, because he makes these videos look outstanding and me look way more gorgeous than I already am. Thank you, Sebastian. All right, guys, as always, stay a lean, mean strength machine. I'll catch up with you guys next time. Peace.